Let's talk about some of the big names brought to your territory. What can you tell me about Harley Race?
Harley Race, yeah. Well, he defended the world title here on a number of occasions. Harley is a great performer in the ring. He would always go out there and make whoever he worked with look that good, and do everything he could to get that guy over, and Harley was great. Sometimes he would have 50, 60-minute matches. Some of them were a bit slower paced, but they look like real contests, right? And he always made whoever he worked with look very good. And I could say the same for Dory Funk and Terry Funk. They would come in and they would do everything but drop the title. They would make their opponents look so good, and they were that close to winning the title. And their motto was they want to leave your territory in good standing. So if they beat your whoever you're working with, it's going to be something very close. And this is after the challenger did everything but win the title. So that's what I liked about Harley, and he always gave so much. Made his opponents look great, and yet what he did was safe. He wasn't brawling outside the ring or fighting with fans. It was all in the ring. And then Harley would go out after the matches and enjoy himself. He would he would party and drink sometimes till 3, 4 in the morning. Get up the next day, and make the next show. He was always reliable, always steady, but just great to do business with.
What about superstar Billy Graham broke in Stampede, correct?
He did. Very early, 1970. He had incredible credentials, even though he had never done any amateur wrestling, but he played football in the CFL. I think he had played with the Montreal Alouettes and had tried out for the Calgary Stampeders, but he knew maybe there was a better calling card for him in wrestling and football. And at the time, Angelo Mosca and Ernie Ladd and some of these guys had made that transition from football to wrestling and were doing very well. So he broke in with my dad in 1970, and he had 22-inch arms, and probably the best physique of anybody in wrestling at the time. So my dad saw him as a real natural talent. So he trained with Billy and worked out with him. And Billy, well, he wrestled here as Wayne Coleman. He just knew he had a great potential. He was very good on his interviews and mic skills. He was he had such a great physique. He did all the strongman moves, and he was doing the arm wrestling. He would arm wrestle any fans who wanted to arm wrestle with him, and if they could last more than 10 seconds, then he would give them $100 a second. And nobody beat him. Nobody last 10 seconds on me, and that's something he did to make some extra money, on the side. But it also gave him some notoriety as well. So he was with us for about 6 months. He worked as a heel and tag team quite a bit with Angelo Mosca, and did kind of a program with another football player, Bob Luke, who played the CFL. So it was a great storyline where these CFL players were in this big rivalry or feud with each other. But and then Billy eventually left and went to California and hooked up with Dr. Jerry Graham, who he first met in Calgary, actually, when he was breaking in, when Jerry was visiting the promotion. And I think Jerry kind of made a connection with him. And then when Billy eventually went to California, where he was based, he teamed with Jerry. Mm-hmm. And then his career took off. He became the newest protege of Jerry Graham, and was a tag team partner of him. And he took the name Superstar Billy Graham. And then, his career just shot off, first in the AWA, and then after that, the WWF.